Filler content. Filler content is any material that exists outside of the main story arc. This is a practice that's usually derided whenever it appears in games and other media. It's usually done to pad out time in what would otherwise be really short and uninteresting content. This happens in all sorts of places. Anime, TV shows, cartoons, really, any long-form story can run into accusations of having filler content. But is that always a bad thing? I disagree. To call it what it is, the new update is filler. But compared to other updates, this one has made me fall in love with the characters, made me appreciate the world building, and has made the experience of the game so much richer and more engaging as a result. If you'll all come with me, I'll show you exactly why that is. So sit back, stay hydrated, and most importantly, I hope you all enjoy. This update has been a really nice change of pace. With how action-packed the previous ones have been, the fact that this one entirely revolves around the moon chasing festival and building it up was not how we expected things to go. Despite that, I couldn't help but enjoy myself the whole way through. The actual main story of the moon chasing event is some heavy stuff, and I mean heavy. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but I did not expect for the twists and turns to have happened the way they did. Kuro took extremely sensitive topics and presented them in a really mature fashion. I got really emotional playing through it. What I found really interesting about the way that Kuro presents stories is that each update has their own theme surrounding them. 1.0 was largely about the mistakes in the past coming back to haunt you. 1.1 was centered around self-sacrifice and the fact that it's both a noble cause while still being an act that can hurt your loved ones. 1.2, meanwhile, talks about the crushing feeling you get when you're not acknowledged. It tackles the fact that humans are an extremely social species that yearns to be seen by others and understood by their own merits. As someone who's trying their luck at making content and getting myself seen, it really hits close to heart. Throughout the story, we get to meet two new characters. One of them is Shang Li Yao, who is a free 5-star. Yes, Kuro continues to spoil us with all the free stuff. Their business model of guilting me into giving them more money continues to be an effective strategy. Anyway, Zhang Liao is a pretty cool dude. You get to play a little bit of him during the story mode, and his gameplay is both extremely smooth and fun to get into. It's great that his story is so personable as well, because now I just want him more than ever. The second character you meet is Zhe, and oh my god! Look, I know I've simped for other characters in the game, but she completely blows everyone else away. I love how cute and earnest she is. I love listening to her talk about how much she loves art through your quest with her, and I love being able to listen to her inside voice in the cutscenes. I ship Rover and her so hard. I want them to kiss and be together and have a happy life. Kuro! Let me marry Rover and Zhe, and my life is yours! Where was I? Right, Zhe. I'm still trying to get her on her banner, but her gameplay is also a lot of fun. She's a support sub-DPS who has a similar plan to Yin Lin. You kinda wanna activate her ability, get her outro buff ready, and deal a lot of off-field damage once you swap to your main DPS. I am so excited to actually get her on my team and build her up. Like, she's so fun. I love her aesthetics. Like, her dress is so cute. I love the fact that she has this giant little paintbrush that she uses to make her attacks. She's a lot more mobile than I thought she would be. Like, I'm genuinely so surprised, especially with how simple her character art, at least when I first saw it, you know, in the 2D space, but actually seeing it in motion, in game, she looks a lot better, and honestly, I really want to get her. But before I get too riled up, I should probably get to the main event of the, well, event, the Moon Chasing Festival. Before I do, I'd appreciate it if you guys would sub and leave a comment on how you feel about the update below. And now that I've killed my retention, let's continue. The main gimmick of the event is the Moon Chasing Festival. You're basically tasked with building up your popularity to attract more and more people to attend the festival. It's basically a simple management minigame. The mechanics of the festival themselves aren't really anything complex. You do tasks to get money, which you use to purchase stalls. Each stall that you unlock gets you a new side quest that you can use to hang out with one of the characters, and from there it's rinse and repeat until you can get your popularity higher and higher and higher. I gotta say, it's really cute to see all the stalls filling up the festival grounds, and a fun extra part about them is that they actually gives you rewards and buffs once a day whenever you come by and visit. Not only does it reward you for completing the event, but it actually makes them feel like they're real stalls instead of just random bits of decoration. I love that. It reminds me of a simpler version of the city renovations in Assassin's Creed 2. I loved seeing the city get more and more developed as you renovate stores and get more places to buy your equipment from. I know I'm a huge gameplay guy, but having an entire event that's focused around hanging out with a lot of the characters that we've met so far is really fun. It's a fantastic way to give you reasons to actually care about them. Seeing Sanhua get fascinated by the art of making buns was ridiculously cute. Jian wanting to make sure his soldiers were taking care of themselves was very wholesome. Going on a mystery hunt with Chang Li to find a secret treasure was oddly romantic. It's a lot of really fun additions to the characters that makes me enjoy them all the more. Again, I'm going to leave specifics unspoiled so that you guys can enjoy it yourselves. They're honestly the highlight of the event. And speaking of the characters, Kuro finally addressed all the bad voice acting. Yap Yap finally talks like a normal person, and it feels so nice that that's the case. Let's be honest, so much of the original voice acting was just bad. It was one of the biggest pain points for me when I first started playing the game, and hearing how much it's been improved it just tells me that Kuro's listening to all our feedback, and it gives me a assurance that we're going to have more and more high quality updates as the game continues. Beyond all the cutesy frills and fireworks of the festival, I also do want to talk about the quality of life changes because the ones that we got were sorely needed. First of all, we finally have a feature that stores excess wave plates. What this basically means is that you're not going to be wasting wave plates if you decide to take a break from the game, or if you get too busy with things like work or school. For players that don't have as much time on the game, this will be a godsend for them to keep up with farming when they do hop on during their free time. You also get a new gadget called the Hover Droid, which is basically like a floating little gun turret. You no longer have to change characters to do shooting puzzles. It was so annoying having to swap out my team to a crew that has a pistol user just so I can do the puzzle and then swap back to my main team. For those that have the hardware that can handle it, they added 120 FPS. My laptop's living off of hopes and prayers, so I can't showcase this, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very appreciative of this change. Finally, there are new camera options that honestly fix so many issues that I had with the old one. I can't really explain it in technical terms, but the new system just feels so much better. You guys are just gonna have to get your hands on it so you can get what I mean. There are a lot more changes and optimizations made in the update, but I'm not gonna go over every single one of them because otherwise I'd kinda just be reading the patch notes at that point. We're also going to have extra events as the update rolls on. By the time this video comes out, we're gonna have the new Depths of the Elusive Realm for us roguelike enjoyers. We're also going to be having another combat event where you can get rewards for participating, and a second pass at the Alloy Smelt event for even more stuff. There's even the returnee events for the players that just didn't really mesh with the game when it first came out, you know, for one reason or another, whether it was for performance issues or the bad story or the bad voice acting, you can come back and you actually get a bunch of free materials, echoes, and more. I am so pleased to say that this update continues to be an absolute banger. I genuinely have no complaints about it, and I hope you guys have fun playing it as well. Between the new characters, the optimizations, and the event with an amazing story tied to it, I can wholeheartedly recommend you guys give the update a go and have a great time yourselves. It has been such a pleasure falling in love with this game. The devs continue to focus on quality as well as addressing issues that players have with it. I strongly believe that things are only going to get better as we get more patches, and I'm already excited to see what 1.3 will have. This is the perfect way to do a filler patch. Even though we aren't getting anything that changes the game entirely, we get to enjoy what's already there in a new light, and I highly commend Kuro for pulling this off. And that's the video. I want to take this time to thank you guys once again for your support. I blew way past 500 subs with the Mecha Break video, and I'm now sitting at a pretty 600. I've opened a Discord server for you guys to pop into, link below. This will be a place where we can hang out, talk about games, and occasionally do some events. If you guys want to support the channel even further, I also have my Kofi link in the description as well. But in the meantime, you guys stay safe, stay hydrated, and most importantly, I hope you all take care of yourselves.